of cognitive development is the most prominent theory in child development. His theory is discontinuous, that means it's a stage theory, and each stage is distinct, and the changes in ability from one stage to another are very easily observable. In each of the stages, the abilities are similar in every single context. According to Piaget, there are brief periods between the stages where children show abilities associated with the next stage. However, they exhibit those abilities very inconsistently. Another feature of a stage theory is that each person progresses through the stages in the same order and without skipping any of them. Piaget's theory has 4 stages. In each stage, the abilities get progressively more complex. The stages in Piaget's theory of cognitive development are the sensory motor stage, the pre-operational stage, the concrete stage, and the formal operational stage. The sensory motor stage starts at birth and lasts until about age of 2. At that point, infants' intelligence is mainly expressed through sensory and motor abilities. All infants are born with reflexes, and as they gain control over those reflexes, that allows them to explore the world around them more. One of the major deficiencies in this stage is the lack of object permanence. Object permanence refers to the knowledge that one object exists even when they are out of view. Very young infants will look at an object, but when you put it away or hide it behind your back, they stop paying attention to it and direct their attention elsewhere. By about 8 months of age, according to Piaget, this skill is developed and they no longer perceive the object as completely gone. They start looking for it. At that point, infants start committing the A not B error. So for example, if you hide an object under a blanket or if you hide an object in one location, an infant will immediately go and look in that location to find the object. If you then hide the object in a different location, so location B, infants under 12 months of age will still look in location A for the object. They will not perceive the object as being somewhere else. They will still look at the initial place where they looked the first time you hit the object. In the next video, this error is demonstrated.
Where is it going? You see?
So the researcher hides the object under the blanket, and the 8-month-old girl immediately finds it.
Here it is.
Now there are 2 available blankets. The researcher still hides the object in the initial location, location A, and the baby once again has no problem finding the object.
Pretty fun. Yeah, I see it.
The object is now hidden under location B, and even though the infant saw the researcher put the object there, she still looks in location A trying to find a watch. By 12 months of age, infants stop committing that error and can correctly identify where an object is hidden. At the very end of the sensory motor stage, so around 18 months of age, infants start showing deferred imitation as well. That is the ability to repeat a behavior at a later point of time after observing the behavior even only once. In one study, a researcher touched a box with his forehead, and which made the box lit up. An infant observed that behavior and was then sent home with their parents. A week later, they brought the infant back, and the researcher put the box in front of the infant, who then immediately touched their forehead to the box, trying to make the box light up, demonstrating that they have the ability to show deferred imitation. The next stage is the pre-operational stage. That stage lasts from about age 2 to age 7, and at this stage, kids have some fairly complex skills, but also some very striking limitations. One skill that kids in the pre-operational stage have is the ability to represent different objects using symbols. In this stage, kids are able to incorporate symbols in their play. So for example, they can use a playing card instead of a cell phone and pretend it's a cell phone. A prominent study that demonstrates the ability to use symbolic representation shows kids a miniature version of a real room. The researcher has a full-size toy as well as a miniature version of the toy and hides the miniature version somewhere in the miniature room. After that, she goes and hides the toy in the real room at the exact same location and has the kid try and go and find the object in the big room. Children in the pre-operational stage usually have no problem with that and immediately go and find the bigger toy exactly where the little toy was hidden. In the following video, this is demonstrated.
Marielle is 3 years old.
Look, here's Big Snoopy. Here's his friend, Little Snoopy. I'm going to hide Little Snoopy here in his little room, okay? Now you watch while I hide Little Snoopy. And I'm hiding him right there, okay? He's hiding there. Now I'm going to take Big Snoopy, and I'm going to take Big Snoopy and hide him in the same place in his big room, okay? You wait right here while I go hide Big Snoopy. Okay. Here I go. Okay, Mario, Big Snoopy's hiding. Remember, he's hiding in the same place in his big room where Little Snoopy is. Can you find him? Come find Big Snoopy. Let's see where he is.
Notice how she doesn't even look around. She immediately goes
Good
and
girl,
finds the
you
toy.
found him, didn't you? He likes it. He likes for you to find him. Now, can you go find Little Snoopy? Where's Little Snoopy? Let's find him. Good girl, Marielle. You knew right where he was. Good for you.
One major limitation in this stage is egocentrism. That is the ability that is the process in which children perceive the world solely from one point of view, from their own point of view. So, for example, in one famous study, a kid was shown a table with a mountain model on it and several objects on different sides of the mountain. The kid was shown all different possible viewpoints and was then sat across the researcher. The researcher then asked the child what he sees on his side of the mountain. So, for example, he may have seen a tree and a bunny. And then the researcher asked him, "What do I see? What does the researcher see?" Children under 4 years old most often just repeat what they can see, perceiving that the other person must be able to see that as well, even though they do know what's on the other side of the mountain. The concept of egocentrism can be seen in conversations as well. Kids will oftentimes have one-sided conversations, continuing the topic they're interested in without acknowledging what the other person is saying. Another major limitation of the pre-operational stage is centration. That is focusing on a single feature of an object to the exclusion of any other relevant but less striking features of that object. From this idea, the conservation concept is that changing the appearance or arrangement of objects does not change other key properties such as the quantity of an object. Children in the pre-operational stage oftentimes fail the conservation of quantity tasks. In the following video, 3 different types of conservations are shown: liquid, solid, and number.
I'm going to pour blue water into each of these cups, and you're going to have to tell me when they have the same amount, okay? Okay, tell me when this one is the same.
The same.
The same? Those two are the same now?
Yeah.
Okay.
The way that the same.
Good. Okay, now watch this. We're going to take the blue water from this glass, and we're going to pour it into this glass. Now, does this glass have more water? Does this glass have more water, or are they the same?
Has more water.
This one has more water? Can you tell me why?
Because that one's higher than that one.
That one's higher than that one, right? Can you tell me, does this ball have more Play-Doh? Does this ball have more Play-Doh, or are they the same?
That one has more Play-Doh.
That one has more?
Yeah.
Let's try and make them the same. Make them two of the same size. What about now?
They're the same.
They're the same now?
Yeah.
Okay, now watch. Now, does this one have more Play-Doh? Does this one have more Play-Doh, or are they the same?
That one has a more Play-Doh.
That one has more Play-Doh? Can you tell me why?
You smushed that one.
Because that one's smushed. How about now? Does this one have more Play-Doh? Does this one have more Play-Doh, or are they the same?
The same.
Now they're the same. Why are they the same?
You roll that one back up.
Okay, great. Okay. Did we share the graham crackers fair? Is this fair?
Yes.
Yes? Can you tell me why it's fair?
You have one and I do.
I have one.
You have two and I have one.
Is that fair?
No.
No? How about now?
Now that's fair.
Now that's fair. Why is that fair?
You have two and I have two.
Yeah.
So children in the pre-operational stage can only focus on one aspect of an object or a situation. So in the last example with the graham crackers, he was only able to focus on the number of pieces of graham crackers, but not the actual size of them. By the end of the pre-operational stage, kids start being able to perceive more than one aspect of the situation and are more successful in these tasks. The third stage in Piaget's theory of cognitive development is the concrete operational stage. That stage starts at age 7 and lasts until about age 12. In the concrete operational stage, kids start being able to reason logically about concrete features of the world. They no longer make the conservation error, and they're able to attend to multiple dimensions and features when evaluating objects and situations. However, their reasoning is only limited to concrete situations. They fail to reason in hypothetical terms. They are also not able to imagine all possible situations and all possible scenarios. So in one task, they had to figure out what combination of length and weight in a pendulum will swing the fastest from one side to the other. They were given different weights and different length strings. Kids in the concrete operational stage start usually with different weights, but don't evaluate the length of the string, so they end up trying different weights with different lengths at the same time, and usually just pick the one that is the heaviest that will swing the fastest. They fail to take into account the other possibilities and fail to try different possibilities where they keep things constant. In contrast, children in the formal operational stage, which starts at age 12 and continues through adulthood, have the ability to think abstractly and reason hypothetically. They are more successful in solving the pendulum problem because they approach it differently. They test the weights first with the same length of string, and then they test the different lengths of string with the same pendulum weight. According to Piaget, however, this stage is not universal. What that means is that according to him, not all the people will reach the formal operational stage. Some will remain in the concrete operational stage.